Now let's begin the news in the education sector. In another policy change, the federal government has announced a major revision to tertiary admission guidelines, removing mathematics as a compulsory requirement for students seeking admission into arts and humanities program. The reform, contained in a newly released national guidelines for entry requirements into Nigerian tertiary institutions, was unveiled this week by the Ministry of Education. The new framework aims to widen access to higher education while maintaining academic standards across universities, polytechnics and colleges of education and innovation enterprise institutions. The revised guidelines now specify that a minimum of 5 credit passes and relevant subjects, including English language, will remain mandatory for university admissions. However, mathematics will now be required only for science, technology and social science courses. Okay, new guidelines. But BK, you were not here on Sunday when we discussed the issue of Camila Omalarami Karim, who scored the figure 371 and she's on the verge of not getting admission. Talk to me, how do you weigh in on this? Very serious issue.
I talked about this girl when we were discussing the unusual failure unusual failure rate recorded in the historical school certificate examination.
Okay.
And I said, if someone like that girl failed some subjects, people will not believe.
Exactly.
You know, we advised WAEC to look at what transpired with a fine-tooth comb, with so that they can actually solve that problem. And in the end, they confessed that there were glitches. And we saw some students then moved from maybe B2 to A1.
Okay.
By the time they addressed the glitches, more people passed English language because the failure rate was unusually high. And in 4 subjects, nobody scored a distinction in some of the best schools in our country.
This is surprising.
You know, so it's unusual to say, okay, in a whole school,
Exactly.
you know, nobody will score a distinction. So I talked about Camila because in Agidingbe, where her school is located, that's Brighter Sun, they had this giant billboard of her, and there are other students who did very well in the JAMB exams. It's called 371, which is one of the 10 best in the country. My son's friend, Toluwane, scored 370. But you see consistency in these children. Toluwane had 7 distinctions. Camila had 6 distinctions in the school start examination. So you know that her performance was not a fluke.
Yes.
You know that Tolu's performance
Not a fluke as
was
well.
not a fluke. So I'm shocked to hear that she's going through this, because for God's sake, if for any reason all of that effort comes to waste, that girl will never recover from it. And these are little things that make young people turn against their country. They will say, oh, Nigeria is a terrible country, because she will be convinced that this sort of thing won't happen if she were in another country. You know? So people like that, Tolu of Peak Lane, Camila of Brighter Sun, you need to handle them with care. So I'm appealing to the management of Nile University. This girl could have chosen any other school and they will be in a rush to grab her with both hands. But she opted for your school. Now the parents are saying she didn't get a notification for the post-UTME.
UTME.
Whatever must have happened, we are saying just do your best, resolve this matter. I was trying to make some calls just for us. I do not know her, I do not know her parents. But at least I know her by reputation.
Yes.
Seen her billboards, even in front of Cadbury, her billboard was there. Because it's unusual to score 371 in JAMB in a year in which many people failed.
Exactly.
You know? So her effort must not come to waste. She should be able to secure admission based on the very, very solid performance that she recorded in JAMB.
Okay,
you know? So I know that parents these days want their children to enter school early and all that. But now the policy has changed.
Yes.
But children who are exceptionally gifted should not suffer as a result of that. We've been told that those who are gifted children would be given some form of priority and all that. So I will expect the VC of Nile University, JAMB officials to come together.
Exactly.
Just so that this girl's effort does not come to waste, because it will be unheard of that with such a score, you can't get into a university because some mistakes happen somewhere. We are just appealing. We are not saying, okay, we want to do their job for them.
Sure.
I imagine if my own son, to start for that exam, you know, and I was proud of him because he scored over 300 too. But I can imagine how proud I would be if it was my child that scored 371. And then
the school will not give admission.
she won't. She now faces the risk of not gaining admission this year. I don't think that should happen, and I believe that Professor Dogo, who is a very competent teacher and a medical doctor, will imagine what could happen, even physiologically, to her if this kind of thing is not addressed.
All right, Femi, federal government policy scrapping mathematics. I mean, is this a yes or a no for you?
It's a no for me.
A no?
Yeah, I think it's not well thought out. Not well thought out in the sense that every person, regardless of your vocation, your career, you need some numeracy or arithmetic skills.
Yes.
You need some data skills. You need to be figure competent. But what we could do is that we can separate mathematics for science and mathematics for non-science. We all need, that's right. Lawyers need data. It's a data-driven word.
Yes.
You need to have some figure competence. And how do you acquire that? There's arithmetics. I'm not saying we should go to the level of calculus. That should be for science students or core mathematics or further mathematics. But every mind must be literate enough to do calculations. We are in a data-driven world. You need data as a lawyer.
Okay.
You need data as a journalist. You need data as whatever you do. I think we should just come up with a policy to separate both. That for you to gain admission, I studied humanities or I read mass communications. Social sciences courses though. I don't need to know calculus like my wife, who is a medical doctor. But I think it is not right for us to say outrightly that you don't need it. That means students that want to pursue art or humanity course will not even pay attention to mathematics anymore. It's going to be a disservice not only to education in Nigeria, even to service delivery thereafter, and professional competence.
Their
All right.
motivation to study it, if they know that they don't need it, their motivation to study it
is not
in high school
required.
will not be there.
I think that was not way to
All right, gentlemen. Beautiful.
That was the same way they dropped history from...
That's right.
Yes, very, very serious.
Yeah, that's right.